I would invite you now to take this time to be a receptive vessel for the birth of Christ within yourself. And again, I will ask and invite you to find a place that is set apart, a place where you will not be disturbed, a place where you can feel safe and open, and if possible, to have a candle with you in a darkened room. And I'd like to invite you now to close your eyes and to follow your breath as you inhale. And as you inhale, you may tell yourself silently to relax. And with each exhalation, you may tell yourself deeper. Relax deeper. With each inhalation and each exhalation, you find yourself deepening your descent into the innermost part of your heart. Because it is in the heart and in the receptivity that you cultivate that you will experience the birth of Christ within yourself. And so now, with eyes closed, I'd like you to listen with your heart to the words and images that I am going to speak, and allow those words and images to bring to you what you need to hear and feel from them, not in a forced way, simply, purely in a receptive way. And there being no room for them in the inn, Joseph brought Mary to a cave high above the town of Bethlehem. Below, the small town is wrapped in the womb of sleep. Above, bright guardians watch, attending the deep night. Near the entrance of the cave, fir and cedar trees stand tall. The crisp air holds their sweet fragrance. Joseph enters and prepares the inner chamber, sweeping it clean and setting all in order. Each movement reflects a considered regard, rough hands moving with gentle touch. Upon his face is the signature of even temper and quiet strength. The mark of piety is reflected on his clear brow. The responsibility of generations presses upon him, trailing behind him like a mantle of rich fabric. With great care, Joseph helps his young wife into the place prepared. A single lantern cheers the inner darkness. Stone walls yield to gentle light. The two partake of a meal in silent communion. A single purpose is shared by two hearts. Joseph arises and makes ready Mary's resting place, then retires to keep watch by the entrance. The air is heavy with promise, as if the attention of the infinite were bending low, pressing upon the hallowed place. And Mary, knowing that her time was nearly accomplished, withdraws to a place set apart. Her robe spreads around her in soft folds. She kneels, her heart and hands uplifted in supplication. Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, the ark of the covenant, which contains the living seed of God. God's own bow, extended and drawn by God's own hand. And the whole world, weary and groaning in travail, became stilled with a deep, abiding silence. In this one eternal moment, the Lord God stretched forth his hand into the world and struck a chord which resounded with the fullness of his being. The soundless roar stirred the smoldering coals within the human heart and breathed light into dark places. And from God's own heart came forth God's own Son, God of God, light of lights, begotten, not made, of one substance with the Father, love's bright flame, sealed in the body of the little child. And his mother drew unto herself the infant, the bearer and means of her salvation, wrapping him in soft mantle. Oh, to look upon your sweet form, to touch your soft cheek, to embrace you who art the fulfillment of each one's silent longing. Lord, grant us the grace.